Behind the camera and sound portions of a film's foundation lies the skeleton of the production body, setting lights, handling electrical items, moving heavy equipment. Without the crew members behind this department, film sets couldn't function safely or efficiently, which is why this week we're taking a look into the grip and electric departments. So, this is the Second Draft Podcast. I'm Justin. This is Vete.
I am Vete Derisse.
And we're going to go around and see who we've got sitting in these seats today. We're going to start with this young man right here.
Okay, hi. My name is Matthew Lopez, and I've gripped for, I guess, 4 years now, maybe 5 in UCF. I've done stuff outside too, so yeah. All around grip guy, yeah.
Hello, I'm Eileen. I've been doing Dolly Trick for like 2 to 3 years
can you
now.
get closer to
Oh,
it?
sorry, my bad.
You them headphones.
Oh.
You're messing it up. Actually, you have to get closer.
Aim it like
Yeah, maybe,
Oh,
and then
okay,
go up
okay.
and then swivel left.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're messing up the
yeah.
podcast.
Good?
Aim like the actual
Crazy.
You aim the actual mic like down.
We need them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I do G&E, not sound.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, good? Yeah? Okay. I'm Eileen. I've been doing grip and electric for about 2 to 3 years now.
I'm Hakem. Been doing it for about a year.
Hi, I'm Christian. I think I've been doing it for about almost 2 years now.
All right, hell yeah. And I guess to start off this episode, let's just start with something basic. So let's do this first one. Lighting for dummies. How would you explain to someone who has never been on a film set before? What's lighting? What's it all about? Like, how do you prepare that? So we'll start.
You two are looking at each other. So we'll start with Hakeem. Yeah, Hakeem. Hakeem, I've never lighted anything before.
You're devious.
Hakeem, how do I light?
Really?
What do I have to know beforehand? What do I have to know on scene? Set?
I think
What's
you
up?
might have to know a lot beforehand, depending on like the level of what you're doing, you know. But I think the first thing you should always know is what your frame looks like, because you know if you don't have a frame, there's really nothing to light because you don't know what you're trying to light. So, knowing what your frame looks like, knowing the mood and vibe of the film, that's always a good starter. And kind of knowing what like equipment you're probably going to be using, because if you don't know what the equipment is, probably don't know how to use it, probably don't know where to place it. And if you don't have any equipment, now you have to be really, really like creative, or hopefully shooting outside and just do like flags and neg from there. But I think that's the first step, just like knowing what the film is, the vibe, and what your camera guy is doing.
Eileen, I'll have you pick back up. And you start with, for people that don't know what frame is. What is
frame?
that? And then continue from there.
Frame
You gotta
is...
do the thing. Do the
Oh.
thing. Do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit.
Wait,
crazy.
what?
That
Well,
shit
frame
crazy
is
as
just
hell.
is what you see
On
on
the camera,
screen is
yeah.
what, like, that's your frame. And yeah, just lighting. I mean, some basic stuff. It's just 3-point lighting, Sorry, microphone. Yeah, just like having a basic understanding 3-point lighting. You have your key, which is your main light, your fill, and then some backlight, and then you can kind of work on from there. But yeah, you're just trying to make it look good. Good communication with your DP is always important. So it's a good place to start.
Christian, man, is there anything you would add on to that? Or is that... I don't know anything. Now, whatever you guys say is how my film goes. So if it ends up trash, I'm going to blame you.
Nah, yeah. I mean, they hit the nail on the head. Like,
Yeah.
Keem made a good point about like mood. I would say your lighting is always like informed by 2 things, like mood and then logic. You have the logic of a scene, like where the lights should be coming from, if there's sunlight, if there's lamps inside, things like that, windows. And then mood, you can bend the rules a little bit for that, make it darker than it really should be, just to kind of get that vibe going.
When you say mood, is that in reference to, we're doing like a film noir? Is that in reference to it's a sad scene? Is that in reference to just the emotion of it? As well?
Definitely like a tonal thing. Like a horror movie looks totally different from like a sitcom. So.
Okay, Matt.
I would say lighting is kind of like when you get into it, you're thinking it's like normal lighting, but it isn't. It's like what people, I guess the worst misconception is you come in and you're like, oh yeah, like a stinger, right? A stinger, what people call a stinger is just an extension cable, but people think of it like an extension cable, which is the complete opposite. Because stingers that you use on sets, those are like 12 gauges. They hold like 100 watts of or more of electricity than a normal thing in your house, and they don't catch on fire when you put a tungsten light on. So like it's stuff like that where it's no longer, you're not working with lights that are stuff that you can just do at home. You're working with lights that can possibly actually do damage, and and you can actually hurt people with it. It's no longer like a toy, it's like a serious equipment. So now you have to learn, like, especially in the grip world, at least in that concept, safety is your biggest and largest reason to even get into lights, is that you have to know that from the beginning. You have to be like the most OCD person, thinking that everything will, like, you got to have the final destination mentality. That's the best perspective. It's like you think everything will kill someone, and that's how you're able to basically handle the lights appropriately and then rig them up, because that's what our whole thing is like. And then if we get to that level, right, then after that is learning how the lights work, right, because you're working under a gaffer or you're working under a best boy or someone like that, and they teach you those things. And it's good to know that, because then you're like 2 steps ahead. When the gaffer's about to say, hey, grab me this Nova and put it up here with this stand, you know that already, because you already know what kind of the envisionment of what he wants. So yeah, I would say just come with somewhat of a background. Don't just come into grip. I mean, you don't get me wrong, you can come into grip not knowing anything, but if you're gonna do that, you have to make sure that whoever's like you're working with knows what they're doing, so they can teach you. Because there is some niche. It's not like a PA job. You don't just walk in there and just figure it out. You could, but like there's like you have more things that can hurt people than everyone else on set. You're the guy who would hurt people.
So you mentioning that, I feel like that's a great point. Apparently everybody needs a sensei. So Matt,
Yeah.
who's your OG?
Who's my OG? I would say like it's like 3 people, because when I got here, like the first thing when I transferred over, it was like immediately to gripping life. Most of it came from the fact that I like joined Devon's in there's like an equipment room in UCF, and basically they hire students for financial aid, and then you get to work and earn the money to pay for your classes. So that guy, the guy who's in charge of there, he's like the messiah of grips. He like believes that if you wanted to be a DP, screw that, you're gonna be a grip. He forces you into that facade, because grip is actually one of the, like, on the lesser sides of getting into a job. That's like the one you would want to get in. It's more guaranteed. So he always tries to lean people into that background. But yeah, it's him, Carlos Isabel. He's like the man. You never need to know anything about lighting. He's the senior of like basically everyone in this table, and he taught everyone, even me. And then the other one was Michael. But Michael worked in the film equipment room it was like I think he had 3 more months left, but he taught me everything. I went on the first sets I went on were all senior sets. They weren't junior sets. It was everyone who was graduating basically. So I learned from everyone who already knew everything. So it gave me a little bit of a step up.
Eileen, is there anybody you want to shout out?
Honestly, you, Matt, I worked under you a couple times.
Oh, this is your sensei right here?
Yeah.
That's not about the OG, okay.
Yeah, I worked under him a couple times. He definitely taught me a lot as well. Like you said, Carlos. I've worked with Carlos Arazabal a couple times, and then just being able to be on set with John Bowen is like you just got to be a sponge and absorb everything you can, and yeah.
And I think your OG is sitting right next to you.
A chain of events. Yeah, probably these 2 here. I think taught me a lot, in Donwin. Christian as well, like, cause like they're kind of my OGs, but I feel like Christian, like I've grown alongside Christian while I've grown behind them. So I want to say that. Lee from Adrenaline, he was always really cool too. So shout out to all of those people.
Christian is your OG at the table?
Yeah, she is.
Eileen?
Yeah. No, for sure.
Oh, I actually never knew. Wait, how long you say you've been?
I don't know if it's been almost 2 years or like maybe
You
a
said
little
you've
bit
been
over a
doing it for
year.
2 years, right?
Well, 2 to 3, yeah.
Yeah, she definitely got time on me. But my first ever grip and electric set was working under Eileen and Donwin. So like them 2 definitely like nurtured me, created a very friendly environment to like screw up and learn along the way. Like Keem said, we've been like kind of coming up together. That's been really nice. Like I feel like we both had a similar amount of growth as far as like what we've been doing. Besides those people, definitely Arazabal, Carlos Moss, and I got to shout out Devin and Bowen.
Okay. All right. I guess let's segue into this question right here. This is a fun one. So, what is a must-have when you're a grip on a set? What's your must-have that you have to bring with you in order for you to work your best? So let's start with your first item, the first thing that he's like, I have to have this with me.
Who knows? Does somebody know off the top? He thinking.
I think I do.
I think I know too. Yeah.
Let's start with
I'll be honest, you're running around a lot, picking up heavy stuff. some deodorant.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's real.
You're onto something, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Or some gloves, you know.
Yeah,
One of those
acoustic
two.
gloves.
Okay.
To be fair, I've never been on a set and I've seen a grip gaffer pull out deodorant. So
You got to do
No,
it
I get a little
secretly,
body
right?
spray.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm just checking.
Yeah, that's why we're outside half of the time.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're here. Oh, yeah.
You
All
gotta
right,
be locked
don't
in.
give us that reputation.
No. Y'all just
I be smelling musty on set. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say apple box because like low key, someone always needs to sit down. If it's not
That's
being used
true.
for the shot, that DP gonna appreciate that apple box for sure.
I got a good one. Tape. I will use.
Oh,
I
damn,
will.
Yeah.
Yeah, tape's my best friend. I'll go through rolls of tape.
Now, I don't know, especially like you and Matt. Do you guys at this point, having done it for so, is there? I know it's weird to ask. Is there like a specific brand? Like, oh, this one is sturdy, or is it like a specific kind of tape, or?
What the kind of tape I'd say.
Yeah, I
Gaff
mean,
tape.
you got gaff tape, and then there's like fancy ones, like I think it's called Gorilla tape or some ridiculous
Paper
thing like
tape.
that.
Duct tape never did
There
me
is like
wrong.
one, but I completely forgot it. It's like this thing that when you go to every like legit rental house, they like sell you it. It's this fancy gaff tape, and it has like some logo on it. I personally don't remember it from the top of my head, but it is. Yeah, there is like a niche brand. You'll slowly realize that literally film. Almost every common thing that you think would cost only $20 will cost you like
So
another
expensive.
$100 because it's a film equipment. And there's like there's reason and rhyme to it, but sometimes it's like legit like duct tape. Sometimes it costs more than $20, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
T47 costs $30.
Yeah.
What's a clothespin?
It's literally
Yeah.
clothespin. It's literally
It's a
clothespin with a
crazy
fancy
name.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash,
So just the question-
R2D2, bro.
Just a question from me. Let's say you're on a 1 day set. How much gaff tape do you think you'll go through? Is it just one roll? Is it just?
It depends
Is
on
it
the type
super
of
I'd
Yeah.
hope
set.
not a whole roll.
I mean, if you bring your own, you're cooked. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's part of the
Yeah,
set.
yeah. Is it like an
I
hour?
hide that.
How long is the set? I feel like that counts.
Yeah.
8 hours.
Maybe half a
Indoors.
roll.
Lightweight.
8 hours indoors. It's supposed to,
Is
it's
it like-
supposed to
It's
be
just supposed to be
nighttime, but it's
nighttime?
daytime.
So half that
That
roll's
shit's
gone.
gone. That
It's
shit's
a-
Is it like attached to your hip or is it like just out?
It's out.
Oh,
it's
it's
cooked.
gone.
People snatch it. Yeah.
It's cooked.
So don't leave your tape out if you want.
Cameras
to keep
using it,
Yeah.
sound
Oh,
using
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's out.
Oh my god.
Camera
That
has their
drives me
own tape
crazy.
and they be using tape.
Can I borrow some gaff tape? No, that shit's
You
expensive.
hear that, camera people? Hey, stop asking for the tape. Stop asking for the tape. So, Matthew, I don't think you said your item.
Mine would be like those multi tools. That's like,
Mm.
or like if not a multi tool, you know, like the ones that are like Allen wrenches, but use them for
Yeah.
the camera. Because
Oh.
the camera guy will always say something like, "Oh, I forgot that you got the Allen wrench or the AC, you know, whatever." And then you might be, especially if you're doing like Dana Dolly stuff, where you have to mount a camera, you got to mount something, having a tool that just basically does the job for you instead of being like, "Hey, AC, you got that tool?" That's
Yeah.
one thing you should have.
Real.
All right. Very interesting on everyone's, I guess, lucky item or reliable.
So, do you want to go into? Thank you. Do you want to go into the game, or you want me to ask one more question first? I kind of want to ask one more question.
You guys from equipment that you gotta like. You gotta.
Oh, I'm doing the Eileen. My bad. I was Eileen over here, man. Let me go and clip this thing.
Every
up, man.
future episode, like, hold on, you're
Yeah,
doing the Eileen right now.
right now.
You're
Or
cooked.
you're gonna have like a poster printed out with you
Yeah,
like with
no.
a microphone 30 feet away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold it. So, since we have three of the, since we have.
Oh my god. Oh, you're gonna kill him.
Nah, you tweak it.
Since we have three of the OGs here, one of the questions we have is like, what makes a good department leader? So essentially, if you're gonna be somebody starting out new, what are the qualities you should look for somebody to teach you? Let's start with the youngest one, technically, which is you. And she's right there.
I really think what makes a good department leader is it's like vibes. I think that's like the number one thing. Cause you know if when you go on a set and the vibes are wrong, just probably just gonna be a long day. But the vibes are right, and everybody's just like really doing their thing, but like on a chill way. Cause like you can be working really hard, but like really chill. And I think that's always good. Cause like it makes you motivated to like, oh, I can ask this person a question. If they're like crashing out daily, or you think they're on some shit, like you probably stay in the back.
Put a name on it.
Hold on.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No.
Don't say my name. Don't say my name.
Don't do it.
But yeah, just that. Like, if they look like they wanted to be asked questions, I'll go ask them questions. If they don't like they want to be asked questions, I'm just like chilling in the back. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just follow orders as best as I can. But like, if it's like a real cool person, like you can talk to them about things. Like, why are you doing this? And they'll like be really happy to like explain it to you. So I think just good vibes. That's what makes a good department leader, and obviously knowing what you're doing. But yeah,
Christian, anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I think just being level-headed, and then also someone who can like adapt to a situation is really important in our department. Like, there's been a lot of times where you're on a set and like the camera team completely changes what they're doing, or like frame totally changes from what was understood. Wait, hold on.
Looking around here, we're going.
Wait, do we have experience with that? And then it's fire because then you'll look at your gaffer, like you just kind of smile at each other. He's like, "Give me 5 minutes, bro. I'm gonna figure
Let me
this out."
cook.
Yeah.
that's Eileen.
This is true. This is true.
I think a big thing is communication, especially with the camera department, the DP, your first AD, just having everyone on the same page about what's going on. Because I've gone into sets where that communication's broken down and it kind of just everything else falls apart. So just having that communication and being able to like say, hey, I'm not, just communicate any issues you have and really understand what the DP wants, the director wants, and being able to, execute that. And having a DP that really knows what they want helps too. But yeah.
Yeah. So like, I guess a good talent, or at least a good mentality how to be a leader, is like, you got to be the most determined person there, because you are the one carrying all the heavy stuff. You're always going to be the one carrying the combo stands. You're always going to be the one. You're the last one to leave. You got to be the nicest guy in the world, because if the moment you turn into like a gremlin, everyone's going to notice. You're like the weight of the whole entire production. Without you, none of the sets would be built, So like, having a positive mentality, even like how Christian says when the DP is like, well, we're going to do it all over again. You just built this rig that took you 2 hours. You're going to have it in 15 minutes and finish it. And you got to be like the happiest man in the world. Like, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world to do. Yeah, but having that mentality not only makes you more of a productive person, but it also keeps you like with a plan B all the time. Like, okay, we're going to build this set. No worries. I got this other rig built out in the corner just in case this goes totally wrong. And then putting yourself with that mindset makes you more creative too, because then you come up with like, the whole grip thing is being creative and like putting pieces together and finding alternatives to hang up a light that, like, I've had problems where, we don't have this piece, right? But because you've done it so many times and you've had that problem happen many times and you have that positive feedback and not saying like, oh, we're screwed, you got to go buy it, and you figure it out in the moment, that makes you a better grip and that makes you a better leader, because you find out problems and you have solutions to them. So, yeah.
So you mentioned the qualities of a good leader. We having two people here that have taught people. Are there any qualities to a person where it's like, oh, this person's going to be a good like grip or a good gaffer? Because you've taught, I assume, multiple people in the time you've done stuff. So is there anything you look out for with like somebody who's new, like maybe shows up on set, like, oh, this is something I might want to do? Yeah,
I mean, if they're interested and they show curiosity and they show enthusiasm, they're not just on grip like, I was here just because, I'm not going to learn anything. I think a good note or a good thing that pops out is when they ask you a question like, oh, how do you do that? How do you make this? Then that guy's like, fully devoted to this job. Even if maybe they're not going to be a grip in the future, they want to learn. That's just like, that's always a good way to like hit you with a good note, because like, this is just more or less in general, any person can hire anybody who has talent, but I would hire someone who's a hard worker and is like, I don't know anything, but I'm here to learn, bro. Like, if you hire me and I will work 24/7 to make this work, and this other guy's like, oh, I got a PhD and this bullshit. And, but you're not going to like hire him, because the moment you walk on set, he's not doing anything. He's arguing that it's not his role. It's not his job. Right. As a grip, you kind of have to be the most humble guy there. And if you show that, it's like that's a plus. It's like, I want to teach you because you're going to be a good person in the future.
Eileen, with two of your pupils here, what'd you see in them? You know what I'm saying? That
Not a damn thing.
That lets you know they were going to be great. You know what I'm saying? What did you see?
Nothing at all.
That's not true. That's not true. It's what you're saying. It's like if they're there and they are excited and ready to learn and asking questions, and like, this is something I always say is I'd rather someone ask me a million questions just so they don't like you said, it's one of the most dangerous like departments on set, and I always tell everyone, I'm like, you have any questions, just ask me, because I'd rather you ask me a question than something catch on fire, stuff like that. But just asking questions, being attentive. Like, I remember both of you when I first started working with you, like, I've worked with people before that are just kind of sitting there and chilling, waiting to be called into action, and then you guys were both like there and with it and asking me questions. like I'd turn around and you'd have a sandbag and I'd be like, all right, cool, thank you. But yeah, just like you guys are I saw the potential.
Do you guys believe her?
A little bit.
You want to go to the game now?
Yeah. All right. Oh, your game or mine?
Yours.
Mine. All right. Give me like 30 seconds. Just.
Oh, hell yeah. While we're doing this 30 seconds, have you actually been on a set? I know you guys talked about it being dangerous. Have you guys ever been on a set that was like something actually happened? Did
Yeah.
something catch on fire?
Uh,
yeah. You've been there before.
Oh, I've been on a bunch, bro. I've been on one where like there was no grip. It was just me. It was a whole set in the middle of Puerto Rico. It was like
Whoa.
the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I just need like 4 guys. And I need help," and like no one could do it. And he was like, "Okay, I just need someone." And then he found me, and I was like, again, the whole like humbleness, like that sounds like a dumb idea, but I still gonna do it. And I was there from 3 a.m. all the way till the next day, and like it was just me in a junkyard, no stairs, no ladders, a 10-foot grip truck filled with a bunch of crap. And the worst part is they wanted to hang tube lights on like those like broken construction grids with rust and stuff. So I just monkey barred that thing and climbed all the way and used zip ties to hold it up. But like it was just the most ridiculously intense thing. And there's like this hill the whole time you're coming from the grip truck into the set.
Oh.
And then what happened was basically it wasn't me, it wasn't the grip world, but it was AC. They have camera carts, right? The camera carts are filled with a bunch of crap, and then they don't understand. I was telling them like that slope is deep. You're gonna fall. Like you need like 3 guys to like carry that cart slowly down. And he like I'm one grip. I'm doing other things. I'm not gonna keep reminding him. He comes down the hill with this huge like crate filled with like a RE camera with lenses and like almost $100,000 worth of stuff. And the moment he takes a step, you can see it. He's like panicking because he no longer has control over the cart, and it slowly starts shifting down. And then he just loses it, and it like starts falling down the hill. It's a hill that's like
Wait,
20.
it fell?
Not it like rolled all the way down to the hill. He almost hit because the worst part is at the bottom of the junkyard there's like metal and cars and crap. So like one wrong turn, that shit goes straight into a broken car and it's cooked.
No.
So like I saw that and I like ran straight to the dude and he almost crashed, but then I got like behind him and I like held it with my back, and then the other 2 ACs like finally figured out this guy was struggling and we got it down. But like it's stuff like that where you gotta be the attentive person. The safety is all on you. No one will care. Even the AC guys, they won't care. Even if they have a $200,000 worth of camera, they will still make a mistake like that. And you gotta be like the most, paranoid person. That's what I did. I was like, maybe I should turn around and see if that guy actually listened to me. And that's not what happened. You see, so like stuff like that. Accidents happen, but you gotta be aware.
Eileen, have you ever been in the middle of Puerto Rico in $100,000?
No, I can't
equipment
say I
rolling down?
have. No.
Okay.
Honestly, not one comes to mind, but
Okay.
I'm sure enough sets. Well, knock
Yo,
on wood.
no.
I'm not hoping for it, but
And you've been on
yeah.
the same set she has, so I assume.
Unless I'm forgetting something.
Yeah. You look like you're remembering something.
I have one I cannot say.
Oh, no, that's fair. No, we're in the industry. No, you can't say.
We're under an NDA. bro.
Yeah.
Can't say anything about that.
That's crazy.
Any burning, any lighting, any.
No, I mean I've been on a few sets, including like my own film that like had campfires and thankfully safe. That was cool.
Okay. 100% success rate.
Except for Matthew.
Yeah, I mean it didn't go worse than that. That's all I'm happy about. Like
Matt said with people on the boat in the lake.
yeah, straight up, bro.
All right.
So why'd you pull out a test packet?
Oh, you're gonna be doing an exam.
Oh, that's even worse.
It's a joke.
I'm out.
Look at his
I'm out.
face.
All right, let's let me explain again.
Don't look.
Or don't. Hey, no,
I can't even touch
brother.
it?
No cheating.
No, don't. Hey, just take it away from him.
See y'all. I can't even pass paper.
Y'all flaw over
All
here,
right,
bro.
So imagine this. This game's called 60 Seconds.
Oh fuck.
All right, so you're driving a 10-foot U-Haul, and you got
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
you got a 1-ton grip package and lighting package in there, and for some odd reason, things happen. The grip truck is now dangling over a cliff,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and
Some odd
in
reason.
60 seconds, it's gonna fall. And
He keeps looking at Eileen though. Hold on.
you got you have
It's gotta be an ism, bro.
60 seconds to grab as much out of the truck. You flip it over, go.
Oh, what?
Wait,
What do I do? Circle it?
You have to
Yeah, people are
circle
gonna
each
keep-
you
individual
just circled
item.
the whole shit, bro.
Each individual item.
One from each?
Yeah, one from each.
Oh my God.
Each thing that you're planning to save.
One from each page? Or-
Not one from anything.
No,
Anything that's a
anything.
bullet point, circle it.
You only get one.
No,
Wait, how
no.
many?
as you want, as
How
many
many
Any,
do you
as
want?
many as you can
Yeah.
save.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're-
60 seconds.
We're cooked, bro.
And you can't circle the whole thing at one. Each it has to be a bubble per a circle per bullet point. So you can't do that.
No.
Mm.
Got 15 seconds left.
So you're bugging. Why the hell did we not explain the rules first?
No, the rules were explained.
It's
No, they were not. No, they
The
were
rules were
not.
explained.
You cooked us, bro.
you know it's gonna fall over the cliff. You don't have time to think.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm not giving him an extra 30 seconds because it took like.
All right, hey, turn your day. Turn
No,
your
no,
day.
no,
extra
give
30
him extra
extra
time.
Give him extra 30?
No, it took
Bro,
him,
that's crazy. You
It took him a bit. Just
No, individual.
Yeah, individual.
All right,
wait, can I explain myself?
No, go.
Just don't.
Going, bro. Keep going.
Oh, we're still going.
You're still trying.
All right.
All right. Okay.
So can I explain myself? You hear this guy?
No, we're cooked.
I feel like 60 seconds is too long, bro. I'm saving the whole thing.
Thing is, it wasn't 60 seconds of like understanding the prompt. That's the issue. Y'all setting us up.
5, 4, 3,
Someone sounds
2, 1.
All right, that's it. Pencils down.
Pencil down.
Pencil down.
Wait, do I need to write my
Wait,
name?
no. Just take away the pencils. Just keep the
Bro.
papers.
You're not taking my
I
pen,
want
bro.
to see what everybody said. Like,
Oh,
if they-
I was
if
gonna
they
have
matched
them
up.
each like explain what they.
Okay.
You're not taking my
So,
pen, bro. It's a nice pen.
Hey, just, what your
These are mine.
So
Yes.
you're gonna-
Oh, I
okay.
threw it over. Sorry.
all right.
So you want to start from like one page to the next and see what everybody
Yeah.
said?
So I'm gonna do this. All right.
Yeah.
So imagine Vete is a big shot producer, and this whole thing transpired. The U-Haul is over the cliff, right? And you're going back to set.
This is crazy.
You're going back to set with whatever you circled, and you have to explain to the producer, "Hey,
He's on bullshit.
the movie can still happen. I saved this, this, and this." So Vete is big shot producer. Let's start with Christian.
Am I going category by category?
However you want to explain it.
Actually, I feel like
I think I could.
I think I could.
Listen,
You cheated.
I
don't think I cheated. I think
so I'm gonna start off by saying I didn't understand the rules.
Christian,
What's up,
the
Vete?
gaffer, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm ready. We ready to get shooting. What's up, man?
Yeah, so listen, something
up,
happened, bro. So things transpired. We only have a few things of equipment left. We have pieces of our package.
Like, the rest is coming.
Yes, at a later date, but we work. You know me. I like to work within limitations and overcome boundaries. You know.
Okay, so what are we working with, babe?
All right. So look.
Yeah.
So we got like 2 seat stands, bro.
You got 2 C-stands.
With the grip head and arms though.
Oh, okay.
So like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of control
okay.
there. Like we could do a lot. You could.
But
Like
I was thinking, so a 3
C-stand.
lighting setup, 2 people. I mean, 2 C-stands and 1 person.
Well, ideally, I think some of the lighting kits that I circled come with their own kit stands.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The good thing about this, guys, hear me out. There's actually only one. I only got one frame, one flag on there. So only one of the C stands is going to that. You get what I'm saying? So that's a whole C stand for the lights.
Okay.
Bro, you had 60 seconds. This is
You good, bro? You good, bro? Bro, you don't want to know what she lost. Hold on. All right, I also got All right, let's talk lights. Hold on. I kind of cooked here. I got the Aperture 300C. You know what I'm saying? RGB full lighting control. Nice little mono. I got the 600X. That's bicolor, so less lighting control but more punch. And I also got the T4C. That's that 4-foot light tube. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like those. That's kind of like good. That'll go on the C stand.
Okay.
Everything else low key on the
okay.
kit. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like if you think about it, like we
2
got
C-stands.
3 lights.
How many C-stands do we have in total?
So we got 2. But hold on, but listen. So
You got
remember
grips.
she was talking about like that 3-point lighting?
Yeah.
How many lights we have? 3. Hold on. We good,
Oh,
bro. We
so
good. Bro, we good. We
okay.
good. Like I hope there's no background, but like we got our subject. We got our subject covered, bro. And then I don't know why I circled these. I'm gonna keep it a bean, but we got 2 Cardellinis on there and a Mayfair clamp. That's not really compatible with anything else I circled now that I'm looking at it. But I did also get 2 Apple boxes, so you're gonna have a seat.
So I can sit down.
You're gonna have a seat, bro. So like low key rock with me a little bit for based on that.
Yeah.
And then we got a 4-foot ladder because I'm 5'6", in case y'all didn't know. So like I can manage.
That's everything? That's everything?
Everything coming later, bro. Everything coming later. You don't gotta worry about it. You good.
All right. I think
gonna.
I think actually moving forward, it'd actually probably be really cool if we go page to page and see what people kept.
Okay.
Right, so let's go to the lighting control page
Mm.
and see what everybody decided to keep. If it was all the same,
Oh.
if it was all different. So do you want to start from lighting control?
Yeah, I was gonna. We're just going to the next person to explain his.
But if you explain all of them, it'll be hard to compare. So if we go page by page
Alright.
and go down.
But I have like an overall like
Because you're gonna have to pick a
strategy,
winner.
you know?
That's the.
Mm.
I got you. I
Alright.
got you.
So
I'm a terrible
pretend
person.
this is 4 movies. 4
Yeah,
different
4 movies
that's
happening.
filming on the same day.
All right, lighting control. What do you have? You said it already, but what did you keep on your lighting control?
1 2x3 solid.
Okay, hell yeah. Hakeem, lighting control.
I have explanations.
Yeah.
I kept everything on lighting control.
Wait, so you
So
hold on,
can he
saying-
show his paper to the camera real
Yeah,
quick?
let's see your paper.
So he's on bullshit, by the way.
No. I was able to circle all of them.
Yeah. No, he's on bullshit.
Let me explain.
We could curse, right?
Yeah.
He's on bullshit
think-
as fuck.
Let me explain.
I'm a little ahead on that one.
Let me explain. I'm thinking this
Yeah.
as in trucks I've packed myself, right?
Yeah.
This is dangling off a hill.
Yeah.
Everything
Did
in my lighting package,
Yeah.
back of the truck off the hill already. So I'm about 300. If I go over there, down there, I'm cooked.
Okay.
So I'm sacrificing myself.
Yeah.
Everything in line control, probably right at the edge, probably still in the hill. And if there's a good gaffer key grip combo, most of this stuff might be already on that side. And it's also not heavy. So I feel I can get a lot of this stuff and chuck them.
Okay. So I guess you have to list everything there. You want to go ahead?
You know, the 6x6 overhead butterfly set.
Mhm. Classic. Gotta
You
have
know,
That's
Gotta have
18 by 24 black double scrim, 24 by 36 black single and a black double.
Now, just full honesty. Have you ever carried that much equipment with you at one time?
Yeah, because most of these
They
actually,
usually come in
yeah.
a bag, yeah.
Okay.
It's
okay.
just like
This
3
is-
bags?
Yeah.
I've carried 3 bags all the
Okay,
time.
okay.
And it will also most likely
is like
be
the one
at
time.
the back of the truck, not the front of the truck. For the
Actually-
truck, where all my lights are already off the hill.
So
I'm not gonna
You
sacrifice
chucking the
myself.
lights? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not getting any lights. That's what I'm
All
going
right,
off.
so I hope you're ready for that film, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going off of.
I know. Now we're also learning how to pack a truck is what we're actually.
Yeah, because I like, you're going for lights in the back, because I know where you pack your lights.
All right, bro.
It's fine.
I know you're not getting to your
All right,
lights.
bro. All right,
You're not
bro.
getting to your
All
lights.
right, bro.
I swear you're
All
not
right,
getting
You're
to
in
your
the front
lights.
seat. All
Yeah, you're not getting to your lights, bro.
I do have all this
Alright,
lighting
that's
control,
too
but
much
no
on me.
lighting to
Yeah.
control.
Yeah,
But
what-
just, wait,
yeah,
wait. Here's my thing. Y'all care too much about the film.
Producer, how do you feel about
Wait.
Hold on.
Y'all care too much.
right in front of me is
Y'all
crazy.
care too much about the film. I'm caring about my life and
Okay.
about what I can get.
Okay.
Like realistically,
Mm.
I feel like realistically, everything I got, I could probably get. You, Eileen, lights?
All right, bro.
And where you back them? Absolutely not.
So,
I'm
like-
not gonna have this slander. For
Go
sure.
ahead.
So page by page, lighting control.
Okay.
What did you say from lighting control?
Well, okay. I had an overall strategy. I got all the lighting control, but my overall.
Oh, you got
strat-
everything too?
Yeah, I got everything.
Let me see
But
what
hear
it
me
is.
out. I also got all the lights because. hear me out. Now, hear me out.
You see
This
we
is
have-
for you, Mr. Producer.
Oh, okay.
I went for the most valuable stuff 1st, the stuff that'll cost the most money. So I got the lights 1st, and then I went after all the lighting control. And then I figured the rest of the stuff, your C-stands, your clamps, your whatever, that shit can probably survive the fall anyway. I'll go get it later. So
Mm.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
She
You
kind
see
of
what I'm
cooked. She
saying?
kind
So
of
you
cooked.
got
So-
all. So okay.
I got the
okay.
breakable stuff out first, and then I'll jump off the cliff, get the rest. It'll be fine.
Okay.
You're doing too much for a
So-
producer
so-
that don't know your name.
Nat, lighting control. What'd you keep?
In lighting control, I kept the 6x6. Oh, sorry. I kept the 6x6. I kept the overhead double scrim. I took all the solid flags and then single. But really, honestly, the single could have been thrown out too. We would have been safe with the solids. Solids is key, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solids is all really you need. You double scrim all that shit. Curtains. You can use that. You can use your blankets. You can use, and the solid is the only thing because you need like a crap ton of like trash bags layered together. It's less.
So just so I know, somebody who is just a sound mixer by trade, a solid is.
You. You're a natural
Hold
solid.
on. Hold on.
Come on, did you disrespect me?
Hold on.
Matt, did you disrespect me on that?
I don't know, bro.
Whoa, guys,
It's a solid.
That's
It's
a
a
solid.
solid.
It's a black
It's like
thing.
it's a
Whoa.
It's a black thing is nuts.
Whoa, I gotta cut this out.
You saying Betty's like a 2x6?
He's a. That's crazy.
That's
I
fine.
need neck film.
Betty?
That's crazy.
I'm sick.
Cool.
It's a solid basically that has like a bunch of layers. It's cloth that's like
So
so
yeah.
It's like
thick
black
that you know
cloth that like
Cuts light.
doesn't reflect light. The point of it is to like
Yeah, the fabric
stop
is like
the-
like that instead
Yeah.
of like this. So it's
it's
you
to
don't
stop
get
the
gaps.
light from bouncing off of
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to lighting control. Then let's go to lighting package.
Okay.
Matt, you want to start? What'd you keep from lighting package?
Definitely, I would go for the most expensive thing. If I die, that would have been like the thing I was worth saving because the Nova is like Nova's
Yeah.
$2,000.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes even more. So like
And
I'd say-
2,000 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, I just take it, man. Like honestly, Novas have wheels on the bottom, and
Yeah.
usually you have them carded with a. I'm just saying, me personally,
Why look
I
at me
wouldn't
like
put
that?
my Nova
Yeah.
in like the back of a corner. I would put it in this. They usually come in these like what they're called like yellow bins, and they have things filled in, and they stuff that in the middle of the truck, and then you roll it out before everything else. It's usually the most important things you put there. Like camera card, sometimes you put camera stuff in the grip, but that I would put I would put the 300 Nova, and I'd put basically the 600 bicolor. I put basically fuck the tube lights. No one gives a shit about that. That's like fancy crap that people flex.
Whoa.
I'd keep the 60, and I'd
fuck?
keep.
Is
MCs,
that what you circled? Is that what you circled?
yeah,
Okay. Damn, you circled. Okay.
yeah, because
The tube light's such an easy grab though.
but the tube light no one ever uses, man. It's like a flex. It's like, oh yeah, and look, it's not even on here. That's what I'm saying.
It's a really good point.
Prove his
That's
point.
a really good point. I did
Man.
try and turn them off.
I'm saying, okay, you only need is really a Nova, a 600, and a 300. You're set. Everything else, like MCs,
fair.
sure, MCs are like the alternative to that, basically.
So just so people know, a Nova is like the really.
It's the
large
big,
one.
huge
It's a
light
big
that you
panel.
use for literally
Yeah.
every
Got you.
outside scene you can ever need.
Got you.
That's your soft light. That's your moonlight. That's your everything. That's
The Nova's the panel, right?
it's the panel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
panel.
saw I misread that ish.
Nova,
Okay.
it's a square panel.
Got you. And for people to know, tube lights is the lighting up there. That's
yeah,
not
it's
on
the long tube. Yeah.
Okay, and
So
then what's
it's-
the other one? MCs.
MCs are the
MCs are
mini
the little
lights.
box.
Yeah, you want to get those, and usually you'd even have them like probably packed in your
Oh,
backpack because they're just so
yeah,
small, and you have a kid of 4. So
They're also magnetic, so you can stick them in metal objects.
Okay.
And they're
tube
good for
lights
an
are what like
nightlight.
came after the
bro.
MCs. That's the thing.
Got
Yeah.
you.
There's got to be a picture
Eileen, lighting
somewhere.
package. What'd you keep?
Like I said before, that's the first thing I went after. I circled all the lights because.
Oh, you got. Oh, yeah, that's right. You got all
yeah.
of them.
That's
Okay.
my
So
my game
MCs,
plan
tube
was
lights.
yeah, I got all of them.
Okay.
I want to see
my
a
game
picture of you
plan was the
carrying all
most
that.
expensive.
what
Okay,
I'm saying.
and I do
How many
every
lights
time.
have you carried at one time?
I've seen it. Not a lot.
Because I'm a woman. Is that
No,
what-
it's just that you're
Let's start it.
Eileen.
Let's start it. Let's talk
You're
about it.
Eileen, bro. Ugh. I can't find a picture.
Okay.
All right.
God
So you
damn
kept
it.
all the lights.
Yeah.
If you let's say you had to choose like 3,
Okay.
what would be the?
Like if you had to be like a real, if you had to give a real answer now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Honestly, I'd probably not to copy Matt, but I'd probably do the same thing as a good call. The Nova 300. That's your good soft light. A 600 and a 300. Those are 3 like pretty strong lights. That's all you need. 3-point lighting. Maybe one more. Maybe another 300.
And the
That's
man,
what I usually use anyway.
absolutely. And the man watching all the lighting go over the cliff.
He's sure gonna say like the sun.
my shit's very simple. I'm going based off this is this is an indie film. I really got the B7,
All right, bro.
the tubes, and the MCs.
Bro, you picked everything.
So no major lights. Right?
No, I'm just hoping
Yeah.
All practical.
everything's all practical. Everything's outside. I have all my lighting control for the outside, so I'm good. I'm just hoping that. No, y'all have to understand, bro. Y'all have to understand
Where she packs her
the
stuff.
way she packs
All
her
right,
stuff.
bro.
And
This
What-
land
I
is-
actually-
And
And
everybody.
I actually want to
And
talk about
him.
that after that because I never
And
thought that was a
everybody.
thing to mention.
And-
but-
and-
Yeah, he's right.
but
Y'all have to understand. She said she's getting the Nova. That's the heaviest light we have, by the way. She pissed the heaviest light, because I assume it's her back truck. She pissed that Nova in the left corner.
Okay,
no.
It's a good spot. It's a good spot.
No, it is a good
Okay,
spot, but
thank
for
you.
this, no, I'm not saying it's a bad spot. I'm just saying
It sounds like you're
she
right.
pissed the Nova in the left corner, and everything
It's
in
kinda
the
cute.
truck
It's
is
kinda
against
cute. You
it.
know that though.
Everything in the truck is against it. There is no way in hell she's getting
I
across
could
the
if I
truck,
felt like I could.
across the truck, picking it up, and going to get it out the
Okay,
cliff.
let's be honest. If this was really happening, I wouldn't get shit. I'd.
I think you have to be honest.
Oh my god.
I just think you have to be honest.
You gotta speak. Okay.
I just think you have to be honest. Cause I was honest. I think I get all this stuff.
We'll do one more.
You cannot get all of that.
I was just that was my logic. Was it
Christian,
expensive?
No.
lighting, what'd you keep?
No.
No.
So So I got the 300 panel, which I called it a monolight before, but it's because I misread. I didn't see the Nova, so hold on. Not too much. I'm going to get that panel. I'm going to get the 600 bicolor, and I'm going to get the light tube. The panel is for, like Matt said, it's a good soft light. It's a good key. That 600 just, again, has more power, and then the light tube I'm pulling for convenience. I just want to point out 2 things. Eileen's talking about she's getting every light on the truck, and then probably the strongest person here is talking about they're getting 2 crates about this big. That's crazy.
I'm realistic.
You could try harder, bro.
Yeah.
No, you're trying to die. I'm trying to survive. I'm realistic.
I'm trying to save my producer money.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, if me, I need them lights, baby. You know, I have to go. Eileen, you know what I'm saying? Picked up all the lights.
You're dead.
You know, she wasn't. Yeah, she died because she was trying to get the last light. And she threw it off the cliff. But you know what I'm saying? At the end credits, in memory.
It'd be me.
In memory of Eileen,
Yeah.
for sure.
Let me
For
grab
sure,
that
for
picture,
sure,
though.
for
Let me
sure.
You
grab
could
that
always buy another panel, but you can't get another Eileen Shiels.
Oh,
That's what I'm
shit.
saying. And I can save all. I just want to say all these clamps, usually like
In
2 boxes,
2 milk crates, yeah.
right in front. I could easily say that. I think I could actually save.
We don't have time for all of them, but
I
I'm
know,
glad
that's
we
it.
got to go through the majority of them. We can pass in all your papers.
The
Thank
important
you,
one,
thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, you tripping, bro.
All right, bro.
We're gonna pack a truck and we're gonna test this out. I'm
You're
not.
gonna
You're
test
gonna be
Yeah.
on the next set. He's like, you don't need the lights in it. We're good. We're good.
We're gonna pack a truck. Be like, all right, now go get that Nova in 60 seconds.
Bro's gonna put it in the
And
middle
I
of the
could
street.
do it.
Let's do this. All right, so let's go back into questions. This one's pretty. So, what was your journey into becoming G&E, and what's your end goal? Like, is this it for you? Is this like a stepping stone to something else, or is this like where you really want to do? So, let's start with Christian.
So like I said, Eileen and Donwin were my leads on my first like grip and electric gig, and that was because I was working in the film equipment room one day, and then someone came in and was like, "Hey, do you want to do grip?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is, but I'm down." And it was fun. It was really fun. I like the idea of just lifting things all day, placing things, and packing up. I think for now, like my career goal with it is to end up being a gaffer, and then eventually a union gaffer. But in my heart and soul, I'm always gonna think of myself as like a writer director first. So I still want to keep doing like my passion projects on the side, but union gaffer is definitely the goal.
So you're cool with gaffer being like one of your career paths.
100%, yeah.
All right, Hakeem.
Really, I got into it just to like try things, like try different things. But I will say like the set that really made me like, I feel like fall in love with Genie was on Christian's set under Eileen and Donwin. I think it was just good vibes, and so I really fucked with it since then. Is it my end goal? Probably not, but it's like, a means to end, get some bread, eat. But yeah, at the end of the day, like producer, director. But Genie's really fun. I would love to still be in Genie, working up the ways and see where it goes.
So just for clarification, that first set you did gripping was on Christian's?
No.
Oh,
It wasn't like my first. I gripped maybe like a few sets before, but when it was like, oh, I really like love
Yeah.
to grip, it was Christian's set.
I was about to say, so your first set you showed up as Mario. I was like, that's a crazy
Bold
first time
move.
to show up
No,
as something.
but yeah.
But then I also wanted you to mention he started off apparently just doing grip and gaffing stuff, but
Yeah.
you did other stuff before
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Do you say any of them were like major, or are you just saying, oh, have you done grip more than you've done all of the other stuff at this point, or
Yeah, I'm gripping like every other set for some reason.
what's a close second to like, oh, the second thing you did the most before?
Probably producing now, producer and directing, and then my early script supervisory years. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So it went script soup, producer.
No, it went script soup. Well, director, script soup, and then G&E, and then producer. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
but like all at the same time. I think almost every set I've produced so far, I've also gripped on it. So
That's a hard working man.
Well, I started off writing, directing, but for a while I was doing sound mixing. Actually, I started off as a sound mixer. I was a sound mixer. I was a boom op for a bit, and then I realized I can't stand like sitting still all day. It drives me crazy. So one of my friends just asked me to gaff one of his films because he gaffed mine, and I had no idea what I was doing, but it was fun. And then what someone I grew up gaffing and doing genie with was Don, when me and him kind of came up at the same time, and I feel like we had a very similar journey and we've worked together a lot. So yeah. And then my end goal, I definitely do want to be a gaffer. That is the goal. I'd love to be a professional gaffer and a union gaffer. And I also wouldn't mind writing and directing. Yes, Hakem?
I just want to clarify, like, Donwin, the guy who's dating.
Oh.
Let's leave it off the podcast.
That's out of the scope. That's out of the scope.
That's when you mention it, because I was wanting to talk about that.
That's out of the scope.
Bro, he cannot defend himself from China.
Yeah, my man's out of the country. I won't speak on it.
Bro, when this become the shade room?
Yeah, that's fire.
Let's cut this shit. Keep this in.
I'm cutting it right. Hey, Matt, you go.
Oh my god. So like where I want to do in the future as a grip, or just in
So
like,
kind of just like what you did before, if you did anything before, because you have some people that had other positions and then did grip, and then like, oh, I want to be become a gaffer. So your thing, how your journey was, and what you're wanting to do professionally or career wise.
I would say I literally did almost everything. I would say like I started off as a actor, and then I did directing and writing and directing, and then I did gaffing, and then I did gripping, and then I did sound mixing, and then I did some AD stuff. And then after that, I came back to gripping, and then that's what people know me for, was like, actually what they know me for is gaffing, not gripping, because I took the lead with that. But yeah, that's kind of like where my thing is, like, I want to be a producer or director in the future. My goals, the steps in which to get there, it's kind of the same. Like, what I'm good at it right now is being a gaffer, so it'd be great to get into a job career that has to do with gaffing and gripping, if I can get into that avenue. But if I can use my resources and leeway towards a DP role or something like that, that gives me a more closer chance to get into where I want to do. And the reason why I say that is because I have a cousin or an uncle who's already a DP, who's been selected in Sundance and stuff. Like, he owns his own like rental house too. Mm-hmm. So I can kind of just be like, hey, I can be your AC for like 50% of the majority of all your films, and then you can just give me a leeway into there. And then, I can do my own stuff, and then you can give me like a discount on rental stuff, and then I can build films with the same kind of equipment but at a lower budget price. And that's kind of like, in other words, my two options, either go somewhere like LA, New York, or go straight to Puerto Rico and be like taking advantage of the reputation I have there to build up to like a director role or a producer role, or even an assistant to my uncle's DP role. So like an AC or first AC or second AC.
Do I have time for another question before we go into the game?
We should go into the game.
Okay. So here we go. We had these papers. We went through what we would save, but now it's a different kind of thing. It's not a test. You don't have 60 seconds. Thank you. Sorry. It's not a test. We have more than 60 seconds. And this is kind of more like, I believe what Matt said, he's going to save the Nova $2,000, 2,000 pounds. So I assume for anybody who's out there who's just starting out, they don't have $2,000 to spend on a light or something. So it's really simple. I think the game, and it's more just an educational thing that I want to play, is just called the frugal film set, right? So what I want to do is we're going to say you show up to a film set and something you thought was going to be there is not there. What can we replace with that? And I feel like a really easy thing to start with is going to be a Nova. So like one of your main lights. Let's say you show up on a film set, no Nova. And what can we do to replace that quick and fast? And ideally cheap, just for the people that want to do it from the start. Anybody have an idea?
The sun.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what's the scene
Is
inside,
it outside?
Let's do outside, night, inside.
Okay. So why'd you do that?
Well,
We gotta talk to the AD now.
Schedule. Okay. Let's make it easy. Let's do answer for both interior, exterior, and we'll just say it's daytime in both situations.
All right. If it's daytime outside, you already have the Nova. You got the sun. Been there before. There's no better light than the sun. You just control it with if you have that stuff, like your flags and stuff like that. Inside.
The sun.
And like inside, like open up all the blinds. I don't know. You have no lights, or is it just you don't have a Nova?
They're saying, hey, we need something quick and fast. I assume you can, unless, I mean, at your level, maybe you can get a Nova quick and fast, but we're saying, hey, we need to get this thing replaced for like
What's quick and fast? Like what's like an
let's say
hour?
Let's say you got an hour.
Hour,
to go somewhere and maybe pick up something and
Lens Pal, get a Nova for about $80 for 3 days.
okay.
And if we're in here, getting over for about $80 for 3 days, that's what I would do.
You
Or
mean in here like UCF or
like in the Orlando area.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
just
okay.
have someone drive over there, get Nova. Really nice, beautiful British lady who owns the place. She's mad cool. Say Hakem sent you. Probably be all right. But yeah, that's what I would do.
Bro,
About an hour.
she don't know you, bro.
So
She
then-
do.
So that's a great point. So renting is potentially an option.
Yeah.
Is there any other cheap ass substitute at all that you guys have ever used, or you guys have always been Nova girlies?
I know one.
What's up?
Home Depot, bro. Where's
fucking-
lights come from? It's not you're using LEDs. You're getting too used to
Yeah.
LEDs.
Yeah.
Tungstens are what was back in the day. You can buy a tungsten, not a great tungsten, not a perfect tungsten, but like you can get like a.
Is it gonna look pretty
lamp.
though?
I mean, you can flex it, bro. You can really flex it, and again, you also can like compensate with stuff. You know, you're still
That's true.
you still gotta watch for like the color and stuff. It starts to look green. What do?
Mhm.
You get like a gel or something that costs like
Yeah.
$2 and put it in front of it. It takes more time, of course. It's gonna take more time because you're DIYing the crap out of something. But yeah, you can do it. Nova is just basically a strong light with a huge soft in front of it. So it's all you need is a very strong hard light, and you need some kind of thing to diffuse it. You can use your blankets, anything.
Sheets.
So yeah, you can just go to the Home Depot, buy yourself one of those like big, even the ones you can rent them. You know, like the stuff they sell for construction. You know, those like huge ass
Yeah.
lights.
Work lights.
The
yeah.
work lights, yeah,
Yeah.
just plug it into the outlet,
A lot of
point
Home
it towards
Depot
the blanket, and then there you go. You got like a makeshift Nova. You know, it's not great, and then you have to also mindful of the wattage. You're pulling probably almost the max on that outlet in your
Outlets,
house.
correct.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out. But yeah, that's
We
if
got
you
the
have
light,
no-
but we have a
yeah.
fire.
If you have no LEDs and you're like totally cheaped out of everything, like Hakem said, also the sun, they sell these things that's literally a piece of metal. You don't even have to get the fancy one. You can buy a mirror and you can just reflect the sun's light through the mirror into the room. They do that all the time. But they sell really fancy ones if you got the budget for it. It's like a piece of metal that's cut out with like this beautiful diffusion on it. It's very fancy and crap, but all it does is just gives you control over where you bounce the light, and you can point it in the sun and then through the window. And you could I've seen people do like 5 of them, and it's like pew pew pew, and it gets into the room that's in the back of the house, and they were like reflecting from the sun outside. It works. It works.
So then we'll move. That's a great answer, actually. Go to Home Depot if you need it, and if you and you can't shoot at night. I don't know, but when I said at night, nobody had a good look on their face. So
Yeah, it's a little bit more tough.
If you don't
That's
have it set up,
tough,
don't
yeah.
do it at
I mean,
night.
it's kind of like the same thing. You're just gonna have to use light bulbs or whatever else you got. But like,
it's night.
actually, what you want to ask is, what the hell are we filming with? Because we're filming with a camera that can't go lower than like it can't go higher than a 400
You film
ISO
with
or
the black
beyond
magic?
that. Yeah,
No,
you
you
cook.
cook.
Yeah,
You're cooked.
I would say the
Gotta
thing would be
film
like,
like a
okay, we don't have
Sony.
no budget for anything else. Let's buy a camera that can at least go up to like 30,000 ISO, some ridiculous thing. The noise won't be like at that extreme though. That's the whole point. Like I get a camera that can handle all that noise and they can reduce it. Still be there, but I can fix that instead of like filming on a really old Sony camera, or really old Canon camera that like you're gonna get like all this noise and blurriness. It's gonna look bad. So yeah, only way to fix that is with a camera.
Then we'll do 2 more just because we're a little short on time. C-stands. Show up on set, no C-stands. What can we replace C-stands with? That's not renting out another C-stand.
What, the Hollywood it?
I want Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's I love a good Hollywood.
So explain what that is for the people that don't know.
So a Hollywood is, instead of having a C-stand or something, you just have someone hold it.
So you need people.
Yeah, you need
That
people.
person
You need
hates
people.
you.
I've also used a coat rack before, and you just tape some light on it, hold it up.
Oh, hell.
Smart.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's where that tape comes in,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Tape. I'm telling you, tape. It can turn anything. I've had a whole set where I only lit with flashlights, and I was taping them to the ceiling. Like,
That
It
roll was
worked.
gone, dude. That roll must have been gone.
I love that answer. And then, last thing, you show up the set, no tape.
go home. Go home.
No tape.
Yeah.
Is there, you got
Clamps,
yeah.
rope.
Bongo
A lot of
ties.
gum,
Bongo ties.
Bongo
What are
ties.
bongo ties?
I like little rubber bands.
Yeah, it's like rubber bands have a little
Like
like
little ball
wood
and you
piece.
Carpet, you got carpet, you throw it over the cable and whatever else you're trying to like cover. Usually use it to
Yeah.
cover. But if you're like trying to tape something to the wall, yeah, like what they said, bongos, rope, like just they sell you like the nylon, the really cheap rope
Gum.
stuff. gum.
Safety
I mean, gum is
clamps.
kind of sketchy though.
That's
it is
insane.
sketchy as fuck.
But like, yeah, you can use
Gum is
basically
crazy.
anything. Rope is usually where people will go to though. That's the cheapest one.
Rope is clutch. Know your knots.
And you were very passionate about it. Let's say you don't have the lighting control. Let's say you don't have solids. What can we replace for like controlling light, bouncing light?
Well, I mean, that's
Sheets.
cheats or trash bags. But
Okay.
you gotta make sure when you get your trash bags, don't open them. Close them
Yeah.
and use the
Yeah.
whole thing. You open them, you're gonna get like light spilling
Light
through, and
through.
you're gonna get like sometimes you if you really want to get really hella specific. I've done a film where I filmed like produced it and stuff where we blacked out the windows, but we did open them up. But conveniently enough, the trash bags, the hue that it like emitted was blue. So it looked like a really nice blue light that we didn't even try to. But like that comes practice. You're like, okay, let me open the trash bag. Is it blue? All right, then. But you have to plan that ahead of time. I got just lucky that time.
So trash bag and sheets is for.
That's
You
a
could also
solid
do
bouncing
like
film.
cardboard. And then
Cardboard
you could
too.
even
Yeah.
cut into it if
Cardboard.
you want to
Yeah.
make like a cookie.
Yeah, just make sure none of the cracks are spilling. So you kind of have
Mhm.
to like duct tape or like in your
Yeah.
case, you know.
Dang.
Like, you know those like little project presentation boards we used to get as kids?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trifold.
So before you get to the Novas, before you get to, you know what I'm saying, the $2,000 equipment, it's trash bags and sheets is what I'm hearing.
Mm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's we even do that
Flashlight.
nowadays too. Like
Yeah.
even when you are like with flags, you should probably just default to like taping all of the windows with trash bags. You're not
Yeah.
gonna use the
Yeah.
flags.
Yeah.
If we do have a little bit more time, is there anything that you would say is like overrated equipment? Like something that people want and you're like, oh, like this isn't actually like you don't actually need that at all.
Like you mean
That's a good
like
question.
how much of an overrated are we talking
Everybody
about
asks
here?
for
Yeah.
a dolly, you know.
Because if you say overrated, we can get to the really. If you're talking about like 40-year-old guys, if you're asking that question to like Bowen or Devin or someone that's like, they're gonna say all of the LEDs are overrated. They're gonna say like everything that is modern, those cameras we're using right now, all of the stuff that isn't film and not a tungsten light that's made out of like heat is overrated. And it's but it's true.
Are you calling them old heads?
No, but they got a point here. They got a point here. Okay, they got a point here. The reason why they say it's overrated is because it's like simplifying something that you should have already had locked in and taught yourself. You know, like the tungsten thing, the whole concept of like how you point a light and then like starts to like diminish over time. All that stuff you forget about it because you're like, oh, I got an LED. There's
Inverse
colors of all
square one.
kinds. I don't give a crap. You don't even think about gels really. That's a gels is something that I would say is about to die from our generation
Yeah,
because like
that's sad.
Oh,
too.
because you can control.
you can
light.
control it with all
Yeah.
all these
Color
LEDs
control.
now. They don't give a crap about their like tungsten and blue. They give you all the colors because it's a bigger of a flex and you can charge higher.
Mhm. I
So
can
it's
hear
like LEDs is the thing that we like it now, but if it had to be something that's called flexing, it's this. Because this is literally flexing. Oh look, I could put all these lights in this room without having to worry about like burning out the outlets or anything like that. Yeah, it's what we call now normal, but not really what it was back
I can
then.
hear the pain in your voice. You're really upset.
Dude,
about
I
that.
listened to this for like 3 years, man.
I got it. Go ahead, ask the question.
So I do have one little question for me. It's kind of a would you rather situation. So would you rather, let's say you pull up to set, you have like a 2-ton grip package and lighting package,
Solid.
right? Type shit. But
Type shit?
you're a gaffer and you have to double up your key grip. Your whole grip team, they fell over the cliff.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
They were in the van.
Yeah, they're in the van. So
I'm
it's
jumping
just
with
you.
them, bro. I'm
You got all
killing
that
myself.
equipment, maybe a PA. Well,
Oh.
could be your
I hate
your,
that
your
PH.
grip. But yeah, it's just you
Like
and
Lewis, right?
the enemy situation is you got like, all right, so let's say you're the gaffer or you're the key grip. You got like maybe 3 or 4 grips. You know what I'm saying? Nice packed grip team, but you got like maybe 2 MCs, a C stand. It's basically a more equipment versus more crew
Mm.
type of thing. So pick your poison. Which
Do
one
we
would you
care about
rather?
equipment more?
Is
or
it- is
about
it-
people more?
Is this paid?
What?
Does that change the?
Yeah, does that
Yeah.
change?
I think
For
the point
me.
should be is
I'm
do
gonna
we
say no, it's
do
not
we care
paid.
how the image is gonna look? And I
You-
would assume
you
the
care.
answer should be yes.
Yeah, you care about
you
it.
care
You
about
I'm gonna say equipment.
equipment.
I would say
I'll kill myself for like a film if it's like gonna look cool. We're gonna have to compromise somewhere, so I'm gonna have to talk to the DP. Be like, all right, look, we gotta cut down on shots or something, make this simpler.
He says, no, I need all of them.
Basically, we're gonna have to see how we can make this one setup like stretch. Like we're getting a lot of mileage out of one setup because it's
Yeah.
gonna take a long time for that one setup, but it's gonna look pretty. But you better use the fuck out of it. I'm gonna be real.
So equipment.
But like,
Be honest.
it-
Hakeem, be honest.
you know, it really does depend on like the type of what you're doing. Like Christian said, if maybe doing like one location, like maybe like a coffee room or something that you could probably like set up once and do micro adjustments, and you have a lot of time, cool. But if it's like a film where they're just jumping around, they want you to do like everything crazy.
They got crane shots.
They got crane shots. They got dolly shots. You know what? I'm a very peace of mind person. I'm taking my people. You know, I'd rather do that with people than like be down bad by myself. Essentially, especially if they're going crazy. But if it's like a chill location where it's like very micro adjustments, I could do that. But yeah, and if it's not paid, yeah, I'm good.
I think I would do equipment because I feel like, yeah, I mean.
Hakem just looks bad, man.
No. No, I've seen Eileen with people. I've seen Eileen with people crash out.
That's crazy.
By yourself.
But name an example. Name a person she crashed out.
No, she crashed it out on herself.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now I would do equipment because I feel like, I mean, if you have like no equipment and a lot of people, I guess unless you're saying like you do heavy camera stuff like dolly and stuff like that, you could use more people. But otherwise, you're gonna have people just sitting around with like nothing to do.
That's why
I
feel it's paid. Cause I'm like, oh, my people get to sit around and get paid for doing nothing.
Yeah, but you said it's not paid, right? Yeah,
paid.
that's what I'm saying. So I get
That's
the
true.
equipment, and then maybe if I get one PA, and we'll just do what we
one
can.
PA drop a light.
Then I might crash.
Whoopsie.
But yeah, no, I think I'd take the equipment because you can set it up and just leave it there, micro adjustments,
So Matt, you have the opportunity to make Hakem look really bad right now and say equipment.
Yeah, I mean it's sad, but that's the truth. I'm cruel like that.
Yeah.
I've been on so many sets where I am the only grip. So it's like, like I would take the equipment.
He used to torture.
I don't want to be a dick or anything, but it's like the only people that you want to work as grip is people you know. Like if this is like a group of random people that you have to spend so much time to teach them, and then I got all this equipment, and if they get out, that's less of the budget you're gonna waste on people that actually won't. This is like a really cruel, but we're talking about really crazy terminology. But like I'm just saying, if it was equipment over a crew, and I don't know the crew, and it's not like anything personal, and it's also not paid, like. I want to be like the guy that looks. It is a competition in the end, We're freelancers. We're not employees, so we're all here for like ourselves. And the sad truth of it is, but there's people that's what I'm saying. If you work with your friends, then they're gonna help you and all that stuff. But yeah, I would pick the equipment if I didn't know these people. I would just straight up just grab the equipment, say, okay, well they're dead. The budget now is like more, right? All right, so that means that you can pay me more for this. I'm gonna charge you more for this.
That's crazy.
He said not paid, bro.
Non-pay, fair. Okay, but then give me a bigger credit or whatever. Like you,
Just the bigger.
It's the same thing.
Gaffer.
I'm telling you, man. I'd fucking climb to the top of the hill. I ain't the one at the bottom.
The rolling credits just stop. Y'all gonna look at
You're
my
just the
name.
rolling credit, bro. He's gonna do all this for the credits to roll, and his name like 2 fonts bigger than like everybody
and the
else.
bottom is just everyone dead, and it's like
Rest in peace, I guess.
You trying to run
Only
back that Puerto
survivor.
Rico situation, man.
So I guess so you definitely said more equipment.
yeah,
So,
for
you
this
did make-
situation.
You
Yeah.
did make
Answer,
Hakem
bro.
look bad, but it's alright.
Change your answer, bro.
I don't think maybe look bad.
That's a
He's trying to
Hakeem
make himself
genuine
look
answer.
good.
That's a Hakeem genuine answer.
I look good, I fuck with
The rest of us are just lying.
Yeah.
Like it feels like Erica's set, like in the dining room where it's like really one setup, but like micro adjustments. That's cool. This fuckers, like 5 different locations. Actually, his shit was kind of chill though.
Because we did have the grip team.
Yeah,
Little bit.
So I know it was mentioned earlier, and this is something like we actually didn't prepare for, but I'd love to know more about it. Packing a truck. So let's say you have equipment. Like, how do you determine what goes where? Is there a way it's supposed to go? Is it up to your personal opinion?
There is a way.
Why are you coming at me first, bro?
Let Eileen go. You know what I'm saying? Then Hakem's going to do a mean side eye. So packing a truck.
Well, I mean, I guess the way I look at it is, I mean, I need to get better at packing a truck, personally. I think, well, not better, just more efficient, I guess, is like, I think what I've learned is it's important to have access, because like maybe one day you don't need everything out of the truck. I'm used to like unpacking the whole truck and leaving it at a location, so I guess that's different. But if you're pulling up for a day and you're just pulling from the truck, it's different. I've been working with these small little U-Haul van, so it's hard to make anything efficient. But I guess the priority is just, making sure everything's safe. It's not, flying around, things aren't falling off. So you got to mount your C-stands on the wall, ratchet strap them. I usually put the flags in the back, and then, the lights, and then I put the lighter stuff, towards the end of the thing, and just trying. My priority is making sure that shit ain't going anywhere, because that's my biggest fear is.
So is there a thing where it's
breaking.
like, okay, heaviest stuff in the back, lightest stuff on the walls, or
It's usually what I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You too, yeah, because I know Matt's gonna go crazy right
Go ahead, King.
I kind of learned from these two and
Yeah.
Donwin. I just kind of like try to copy them
So any bad habits you have?
Is there
on them,
Okay, continue.
But yeah, just having your light world probably in that like left corner, and then having all your stands while your beefies like hanging on the wall, and then just like flags probably in the back, like behind the seats, like right behind the seats or whatever. But just things like that. I kind of just pack my truck the way Eileen and essentially the way Eileen and Donovan taught me. Me and Christian, we probably just packed the truck the same way, but we've been through some
Hey.
trouble.
You know what I mean? Like, there's been some crazy packs for sure.
Yeah, like sometimes there's things you can't like help. Like one time you got a defective U-Haul.
The ghetto U-Haul.
The ghetto
Oh
U-Haul.
right, it like fell off the wall or
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have like the little wood.
Yeah, like it's the wood plank.
Oh,
And
like
yeah, you're supposed to like
The
put the
van?
C stands there,
Yeah,
and like our shit broke, and
them C stands weren't there. Funny how that.
Wait, what do you mean they weren't there?
we turned and we just heard everything
Clank, clank, clank. Me and Keem looked at each other.
and we're like, we'll fix that when we get to the location.
I remember we pulled up, we parked there, and like all the crews there, like when they're like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I'm like, "Don't look in the truck.
Yeah, we're good.
Give us 10 minutes and don't look at what we're doing." I'm begging.
It's a surprise.
Open it up, everything gone.
All of it. It was funny because the C stands were hanging for dear life by like the ratchet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
That was fun.
So just for reference for people that don't know, I believe you guys normally rent out a U-Haul truck. Do you know the size of it? Is it a 10?
Usually-
Usually 10 foot at least.
Use 10 foot.
Or the
Recently, I've
van.
been using the
Oh, I
9
hate when
foot
they do
I
the
hate
van.
the
van.
van. My back hurts.
Bro, I can't
I'm
do it.
short, so
Yeah.
I would say
I'm
this-
chilling.
yeah.
I'm short.
Yeah.
I would say there's a note here for like people who are coming into the film thing. If you're gonna rent out a van, you just know you're gonna be renting out equipment that's smaller.
Yeah.
You know, because that's like this is a rule for UCF equipment room. I'm just gonna say because Devin always preaches it. You get a small van, you get small equipment. You get a bigger van, you get all of the equipment. That's how it is. It never changes. If you want that giant flag and all that other stuff, and,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
you have to rent out the bigger thing. He will murder you if you come in with your car. He will
one
straight
time
up like
we
not let
only
you rent
had
it.
the short van where you couldn't even stand up in it.
Yeah.
We had a 1 ton in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That has been
man.
obsolete
That's insane.
since like last year. He's
Awful.
been freaking
Back
losing
keep
his mind.
hurting, bro. That's
Yeah.
just not
Yeah,
cool.
nah.
Safety first. Safety first.
Yeah.
So Matt, the correct way, because there's a correct way. You
Well,
said
I
that
mean, like they all said, the basic concept is safety, right? You're gonna put a bunch of heavy stuff. Don't put it in the front. Put it in the back. Why? Because sometimes you don't actually have another car for the camera, and you have to somehow make it work in one van. So you have to like basically make it so that everything is like circling around, and you have this empty space in the middle. If you do that, you have packed it the best way possible because then now you have room to get in. And like you said, usually you don't want to take everything out. You want to keep it all in because usually you're not moving from one, like you're not in one location, you're multiple locations. So you got to be fluid, fast, and you're the first guy to leave on set to the next location, but on the end, you're also the last guy to wrap. So you have to be always like as fast and efficient as possible. And yeah, so lights, like you said, all the way in the corner in the back, stands always in the front, left and right. Why? Because that's like the first thing anyone will ask for. One of them is literally designed for the camera monitor. And then usually you put your Apple crate somewhere close to that too, because that's the next thing someone's always going to ask. And then sandbags always in the front. Why? Because it not only holds the things from falling out, but it also is another thing people ask for. So you always have it set up and prepped to go. Then everything else just falls in the back. I put my grip stuff all the way on the left side or right side. Usually if you're taking a whole side for all the stands, your left side is going to be where all your grip stuff is, your Maffelinis, and all the clamps and basically anything else you need. And then in the far back is where the lights are. That is true. That's never been changed in that. The only difference is in UCF, you have basically no like cart. Everything is just a la carte. They
Yeah.
give you the item, you take and throw it in the van, and it teaches you how to organize. But in a bigger set where you have a 20-foot truck that's huge, it's never on carts. It rarely. The only time they give you something like here's one light is because it's like a 300, a 628 sky panel that's like this big, and it's obviously not gonna fit on the cart. But everything else, they usually pack it in a cart. If you ever go to the UCF soundstage and you see the carts in the back, you're gonna see a bunch of lights packed. That's actually how they should put it into the van. But they don't do that because obviously you're not going to rent out a van that big. Like on a master student set, they can actually rent out big vans like that. And they'll usually give you the whole cart. And the whole cart is what it usually is packed. You'll see it. If you ever go to a real rental house, you're going to see the carts parked into the U-Haul and they're going to be strapped to the wall. They're not actually going to be outside of and then when they're ready to go, they literally open the thing and they
You
drag
just
the whole
roll it
cart.
out?
The
Yeah.
whole cart. And then they're like, okay, here's the flags, here's the lights, or they'll build it in the 20-foot truck because they have the space. And then they'll change it all. Some even are really freaking fancy. I've seen some like grip trucks that are like half grip truck, and then the other half is like this glass sealed window with like AC condensed bullshit, and it's inside is where the camera stuff is.
Yeah.
They have a completely separate part of the van just for that. It's
With
really
AC?
fancy.
That's crazy.
AC and
Yeah.
everything. Well, because you're dealing with
You don't
cameras
wanna
that are
get
like
too hot.
Yeah.
exactly that. It don't have like coolant or some crazy shit like that to keep it from damage.
That's
Okay.
nutty.
All right. Well, this is a very informative episode. We've reached our time. So before we wrap it up here, I'd like everyone to go around and basically plug yourself, where the people watching / listening can find you, and any upcoming projects you want to shout out,
Or
and
recent work you've got.
or recent work you've done. So let's start with Matt.
So you can find me on Maddox Films on Instagram, but if you want to see because like I said, I'm a director and producer, so I have my own production company. It's called Smile Space Studios. You can look it up on Instagram. You can look it up on the internet. We do services. So if you ever want a short film made or you need like a production group, I can, set up. I've done music videos and stuff like that. That are outside. Actually, I've done a lot of things outside of school. Like school's not my excuse to do films. So if you need like a production thing, you need a whole crew, call me. I got you. I got equipment too if you want to rent out. I have my own production. I've invested into like a whole production kit. So like if we need to make a short film, we can make a short film. But yeah, and then you just look me up there, contact me, and then we can talk.
All right.
Cool.
Do you have a production company?
Okay.
That's fine.
You can find me on Instagram at mean_Eileen.21. I'm a freelancer, freelance G&E around Orlando. So if you ever need, G&E, hit me up on there or email me, EileenShielsFilms@gmail.com. Upcoming projects, I'm trying to finish up editing, some of my school stuff and just trying to work on projects here and there, and then trying to make a short film this summer. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at Hakem HAKEM _Sognier SOGNARE _Jean JEAN. Like right now, I think this is like my summer of like fun, doing like a lot of things. I'm working on a documentary that talks about filmmakers after school and where they are and if they feel like they are ready for the film world or if they feel like they won't succeed. I'm doing a tap dance short in July. So that's going to be really cool. I'm doing like a cooking show when I talk to filmmakers while we cook and stuff. And I'm working with some of the MFA students here at UCF where we do a sit down and talk thing and they explain their whole process about their feature films with their producers and their DPs.
You can find me on Instagram at christian.g.inman. I just gaffed. I gaffed on Matt's project. That was a lot of fun. Great learning experience.
Name the project.
Is it Room?
Your room, my room.
It's a
Define
Define My
My
Room and
Room.
then Tease's Room, but it's like,
Yeah.
2 parts.
It's a 2-part. Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. I definitely learned a lot. They're
fire.
great wells of information. And I also just gaffed Jackson Hall's The Ritual. I'm excited to see how that turns out. Oh, yeah. My film, If I Could Take Your Face, I Would. If you look that up on Instagram, you'll find it. But that's going to be going to festivals soon. Pretty much everyone here worked on that. Except for Matt.
Except for me. Sad.
Except for the guy who taught you. No, I'm kidding.
But no, that's going to festivals soon, so that should be fun. And then I'm also working on a doc with Nick Jaramillo and we're dropping a little something fun on Instagram soon. Just like a little experimental short, which is what I'm trying to kind of break into more in the future. So
All right. This has been episode 2 of the Second Draft podcast, the Grip and Electric theme episode. Everyone, some great G&E folks here with us. We learned a lot. Me and Vete as sound people
I actually did learn a lot.
did learn a lot. So we'll see you in the next episode, and everyone give themselves a round of applause, and let's get out of here before they kick us out.